Hey, hi everyone. Just get myself organised. Just come from another class. I'm just getting myself ready. Okay, do you like my new bit of artwork that I've got here? I'm going to go up there when I've actually got around to mounting it. I'll go up here like this. And then I'll have another one over the other side. It's going to look nice. It's going to look good. Anyway, write me a little message. If you're here, write me a little message. I'll just send you one in the chat box. Feel free to respond. So if you've not done a yoga before, let me know. Okay, if you've not done any yoga before, then write me a message, let me know. Because obviously I can't see you or anything, so I'm not sure what you're used to doing and how quick we can move through. But welcome to the class. So today's class, we're going to be focusing on balancing the breath. So balancing the inhales with the exhales. And why do we do that? Well, when we breathe in, that's when we bring all the oxygen and the prana and the energy into the body, okay? And when we exhale, that's when we get rid of all the unnecessary effort, we get rid of all the tension from the body, we get rid of all the carbon dioxide. And both inhales and exhales, when they're balanced, balance the nervous system. When we breathe in, we focus on energizing, and when we exhale, we focus on relaxing. So we don't want to be overly relaxed to the point where, you know, we can't be bothered to do anything. We don't want to be hyper. We want to try and find something in the middle. So that's what we're going to do today throughout the class. We're going to try and balance the breath, which can be easily done when we're just sitting. But when you move into stronger postures, it becomes more difficult because the natural reaction to a strong pose would be to either hold your breath, tighten up, or to shallow breathe so that you can kind of move on from that pose. So we'll just keep our attention on that breathing throughout the class. So let's look at the hips back. And we're going to bring the hands into Chin Mudra. That's where the thumb and the index finger meet. And the palms are going to face down. So we're containing the energy within us in this mudra, this hand gesture. And then see if you can release into your hips. Let your hips release. So just settle into your sitting bones. And then root through the sitting bones, and from that rooting you get this force running up through the spine, this lifting up through the spine. So get this feeling of rising up through the spine. And then draw your chin gently back and lift gently from the base of the skull, out through the crown of the head. And then you can either close the eyes or take the gaze down. Okay, so we want to take our attention first to our physical body. We're relaxing into our hips. We've got length in the spine and the back of the neck. We want the shoulders and the arms to completely relax. We want to relax the hinges of the jaw, the corners of the eyes, the skin across the forehead, the space between the eyebrows. And then take your attention to your natural breath. So we're not going to change our breathing in any way. I want you to observe the flow of your breath, your natural breath, in through the nostrils, down through the back of the throat, into your lungs. And then follow the journey of your breath as you exhale from the lungs, back up through the throat and out through the nostrils. Observing the quality of your breathing. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it smooth? Is it rhythmical? Do you notice that the breath is cool as you breathe in and warm as you exhale? Becoming aware of your natural breath. And when we draw our attention to our breathing, the breathing tends to slow down, it becomes deeper, and it becomes more rhythmical. And how we feel emotionally is reflected in the quality of our breathing. If we have tension in our body, it's reflected in our breathing. If we feel stressed, it's reflected in our breathing. So let's place the right hand on the belly and visualize the diaphragm. So your diaphragm is that dome-shaped muscle that separates the chest from the abdominal organs. And next time you breathe in, direct the breath down towards the diaphragm. And as the breath pushes into the diaphragm flattens out. And the result of that is your belly expands. And then as you relax into your exhale and the lungs empty, the diaphragm domes back up and the belly draws back. So breathing into your diaphragm, your belly expands. And exhaling, your belly draws back. And we're going to relax into this deep diaphragmatic breathing. And we can become aware of the diaphragm acting like a piston, massaging the abdominal organs. Good for the digestion, your metabolism. And this is the most efficient way for us to breathe. It brings the most amount of oxygen and prana into the body for the least amount of effort. So when we're naturally feeling very relaxed, we breathe into our diaphragm, into our belly. Now place your other hand on your chest. And next time you breathe in, breathe into the diaphragm. So initiate the expansion in the belly and then allow the expansion to move up towards the top hand into the chest. And then as you exhale, the top hand drops back and down and then the belly draws back. So as you breathe into the lower hand, into the diaphragm, and then allow the wave of expansion to move up into your chest. And then as you relax into the exhale, the chest draws back and then the belly draws back. So we're now getting a wave of expansion, moving from the belly up into the chest. And this is called complete yogic breathing. It expands the breath, lengthens the inhales, bringing more oxygen and prana in. Lengthens the exhales, getting rid of the toxins, increases the capacity of your lungs, the volume. And now open your eyes and bring your hands to your heart. And as you breathe in, with that complete yogic breathing, we're going to take the arms up and the hands are going to meet. And then as we relax into the exhale, we're going to bring the hands back down through to the heart. And again, as we breathe in, we're going to slowly raise the arms up as the lungs fill and the hands meet. And then we relax into the exhale and the hands come back down through to the heart. Now mentally, as you breathe in, I want you to count to 5. If you've got a clock ticking in the background, you can use the clock to help you. And then as we exhale, we're going to mentally count to 5. And this way we're balancing the breath. It's a 5-5 ratio, where the inhale and the exhale are roughly the same length, which is soothing for the nervous system. Bringing everything into the balance. So we'll do a couple more of these, and we're going to try and maintain. Notice how this feels, okay? It should feel nice and relaxing. Notice how it feels, and we're going to try and maintain this 5-5 breath when we move into our postures. I want you to notice how your breathing changes when you go into perhaps more challenging poses. And then consciously, we're going to try and bring ourselves back to our 5-5 breathing. Bring the hands by the side of you. Let's inhale, take the right arm up. As we exhale, we move into the sideways extension. And then we inhale back to the center. And we exhale and bring that arm down. Inhale, left arm comes up. And as we exhale, we move into the sideways extension. Inhale back to the center. And exhale down. And again, inhale, right arm comes up, lift your ribs. And then exhale and come over into the sideways extension. Inhale, center. And exhale down. Inhale, left arm comes up. And exhale, come over. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping our 5-5 breathing going, we're going to come over to our hands and knees. So from the hands and knees, we're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round up through the spine, chin in. And then on the inhale, tilt the pelvis forwards and lengthen the spine. So again, on your exhale, tuck the tailbone under, round up through the spine, chin in. And then on the inhale, lengthen the spine. Keep this flowing, just got to sort the hair out. So as you exhale, you're rounding up through the spine. And then inhaling and lengthening. And again, come back to your 5-5 breathing. So on the inhale, you're mentally counting to 5. And on the exhale, we're always rushing our breathing. We're always cutting our exhale short and not taking full advantage of the full capacity of our lungs. So keep this flowing, everyone. And we'll do a few more of them. Starting to mobilize the spine. Let's do one more. And then we're going to rest in a posture called child's pose. So we take the knees wide apart. So knees wide apart, toes together, and then we relax. So you can either take your hands behind, or you can bring your arms in front and rest your forearms, your head on your forearms or your head on your hands. Now this posture, child's pose, is a go-to posture if you're ever feeling tired. All right, if you feel tired in your postures, come into this one and relax. Let the shoulders, let the upper body relax. Take a couple of nice exhales here in child's pose. And then we're going to come up. And we'll get ready for downward facing dog. All right, so let's spread the hands. Spread the fingers super wide. Get the shoulders directly above the wrist. Your wrist crease wants to be parallel with the front edge of your mat. All right, shoulders directly above your wrist. Your knees need to be slightly back from your hips. Tuck the toes under and have the feet hip bone distance apart. We're going to take a breath out and we're going to push away from the ground and send the tailbone up nice and high. And then sway the hips side to side and get a good old stretch there at the sides of your ribs and at the sides of your waist. And then we're going to start to pedal through the feet. So release one heel down and then the other heel. So we're starting to stretch into the hamstrings, the calf muscles, the Achilles. And then you can start to release both heels towards the floor. Now, don't worry if you can't get both heels down. Sometimes people need to keep the knees bent to keep a flat back. If you straighten your legs and your shoulders move forwards like this, all right, that's not going to be getting rid of any curves in the spine. We need to get the arms and the back in a straight line. So you've got to push away from the ground and release the heels to the floor. And we'll pause here for 5 breaths. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhaling, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as you inhale, move the body weight forwards into a plank, keeping the belly lifting. And then on the exhale, push back into your downward facing dog. And we're going to flow. So we're going to inhale, suck the belly up, come into plank. Try not to drop your hips too low, and exhale, push back into down dog. And we just keep flowing forwards into plank and then exhaling back into down dog. Keep it going, inhaling forwards into plank and exhaling into down dog. So this is going to build up some strength, everybody, in your upper body, your core, your quads. Keep it going. Remember, you've got that go-to posture, child's pose, if you get tired. Now, everybody, we're going to come back into the plank and we're going to pause. Let's drop to the knees and point the toes away. Suck the belly up. Shoulders move forwards, elbows bend, and we drop into chaturanga. And then I want you to relax for a moment. Okay, let's have a little wiggle. Point the toes away. Now press your hips into your mat. Bring the hands, all right, so they're comfortable and you can roll your shoulders away from your ears and then lengthen into the back of your neck. So your gaze will be down. Obviously, I'm looking sort of at the camera, but keep the gaze down. And then when you're ready, as you breathe in, feel as if you're breathing through your tailbone, elongating your spine and gently come up. Only come up where you're comfortable. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back down again. Okay, so as you inhale, we're going to gently come up. And then as we exhale, we're going back down. And keep this flowing. So inhale, gently come up, shoulders away from the ears, and exhale down. And again, inhale, gently come up, building some strength in the back, and exhale down. And again, inhale coming up, and exhale down. Right, now pull up through your navel, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Let's pause in our downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. And then from downward facing dog, we're going to inhale and walk to the front of the mat. And we're going to bring the feet together. Bring the hands to the thighs, come halfway up and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, we're going to fold and drop the head down. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up, gaze up. And then we're going to exhale and bring the hands to the heart and let the arms relax. Okay, so come to the front of the mat. And we're going to stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. So let's just check out our feet, everyone. We want the big toe joints together, a little gap between the ankles. Spread the toes nice and wide. Just walk through the feet. We've got four corners to our feet. We've got the ball of the foot, the little toe side, the two bits either side of the heel. It's important that they equally press into the floor. They're rooting down, and then you get this rise up through your spine. All right, we need an arch in the foot. The arch in the foot is going to lift up your pelvic floor. We need to pull the navel back towards the spine to engage the core. Want the shoulders back and down, palms face slightly forwards. Draw the chin back and lift from the base of the skull and out through the crown of the head. So mountain pose, Tadasana. And then from here, we're going to inhale, raise the arms, look up. As we exhale, we're going to bend the knees and fold and then lift the sitting bones. Inhale, hands to the thighs, come halfway up. Now engage your core, everyone, suck the belly up. Exhale into chaturanga, which is the narrow arm press up. You can drop to the knees. Inhale into cobra and roll the shoulders away. Shine the heart forwards. Pull up through the navel. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Now let's do our 5-5 breathing. Let's breathe. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Feel free to wiggle around, by the way. Remember, you're about 60% fluid. You're not made of cement, okay? So feel free to have a little wiggle. And then practice your 5-5 breathing. Mentally counting to 5 on your inhale. And mentally counting to 5 on your exhale. Every time we breathe in, we lengthen the spine and send the tailbone up super high. Every time we exhale, we stretch into the backs of the legs. Okay, so let's inhale, jump, step or walk to the front of the mat. Bring the feet together, come halfway up and lengthen the spine. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let the arms relax. Good, so you've got your feet together. We're going to bend the knees and we're going to inhale into Utkatasana, chair pose. Try and keep your knees together. Try and keep your arms in line with your ears, all right? Now, if you've got any issues with your neck or shoulders, your arms will probably go there. You've got to either work those back muscles to draw them back or you bend your elbows more and take the arms wider. It's okay to do that. Think about the navel pulling to the spine. So you've got a natural curve in this lumbar spine here. right, but the navel is drawing back. Your knees, you don't want one knee ahead of the other like that. It puts your hips out of alignment. The knees must remain level. Imagine you're holding on to a piece of paper between your knees there. Keep breathing, everybody. See what's going on with your breathing now. As you're holding this posture, all right, it requires some effort. So your breathing is going to change. Get control of that five breath. It will send a message to your brain that all is okay, and you'll be able to mellow into that pose. And then we're going to bring the hands to the heart. We're going to sit a little deeper into this squat. We're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Try not to let the left knee slide forwards. Take a breath in and elongate your spine. And then as you exhale, turn that right elbow up towards the sky and breathe. Okay, now if you have trouble with the hands in prayer, just make a fist and a palm. As you breathe in, try and get the elongating of your body. And then as you exhale, that rotation. If it's comfortable, top arm can come up, bottom arm goes down. And relax here. 5-5 breathing, everyone. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Inhale, you can always bring that hand to your lower back. And exhale, you can always keep this hand in half prayer. And then we'll inhale back into Utkatasana chair pose. Then we'll bring the hands to the heart, sit lower. Bring the right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turn the left elbow up towards the sky. As you breathe in, lengthen the spine as much as you can. And as you exhale, you twist. If it's comfortable, you can take the top arm up. This requires a lot of strength in the upper back, everyone. This is one of these poses. It looks easy, but you're in a squat, so you're having to work the legs, big muscles in the legs, quads, glutes, hamstrings, and then you're trying to rotate, working the big muscles in the upper back. The core is engaged. There's a lot going on. And then we're going to inhale back into Utkatasana. And then we're going to exhale and we're going to fold. Now, bend your knees and bring your chest to your thighs. Have a little walk through your feet. Have a wiggle. Now, we're all going to bend our knees quite a bit so that the chest makes contact with the thighs. And then try wrapping your arms around the backs of your legs, hugging your thighs. Let the head go. Now, as you breathe in, let your upper body sway. Let the spine and the neck release. And then as you exhale, push away from the earth through the feet and lift the sitting bones, the backs of your thighs, up towards the sky. Pelvis wants to feel like it's rotating forwards. It rotates up and over the head of your femur, your thigh bones. And then breathe. Relax into your breathing. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. The breath takes us deeper into the posture. On the inhale, the spine releases. And then on the exhale, we lengthen into the backs of the legs. Most of us are going to have bent knees here. All right, so don't worry if your knees are bent. And then from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to come halfway up. We're going to exhale the hands to the hips. And then we'll inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, let the arms release. Okay, let's step back with the right foot and turn sideways. We're coming into a warrior pose, everyone. So when we face the long edge of the mat, I don't know if you've got a mat or not, but if you were stood on a mat or an imaginary mat and you were facing the long edge of the mat, okay, get into this habit of getting the outside edges of your feet parallel with the outside edges of your mat. And when you get them truly parallel, the toes actually look like they're slightly turned in. And then we need to pull up the kneecaps and engage the quads here because we don't want to lose the arch of the foot. As soon as you lose the arch of the foot, your knees knock in like that. All right, so try and keep the outside edges of the feet down, maintain the arch in the foot and pull the kneecaps up. And then just notice what's going on in your torso. So if you put your hands at the front there, you've got your hip bones, the knobbly bits there at the front. They're level, they're not wonky. Yeah, they're level and they're pointing directly forwards. Imagine you've got headlamps there and they're shining forwards. And then you've got your shoulders, level, they're not crooked, level, and they're sitting directly above the hip bones and they're square, they're shining forwards too. We've got to try and keep all of that alignment. all right? We're going to turn the toes of the left foot in and the toes of the right foot out. If you drew an imaginary line from the right heel, it comes the arch or the heel of your back foot. So adjust your feet accordingly. And then bring the hip bones back to their level. And they're square. Navel back, tailbone down. All right, so the classic thing to happen here, if you just relax, if you were just hanging out, you'd probably just look a bit like that. Okay, so you've got to bring the energy into the posture. Always work from the ground up. Build foundations, feet, knees, hips, spine, shoulders, neck. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to bend the right knee, and then you're going to have to wiggle with your feet because we need to make sure that right knee there sits directly above the ankle bone. All right? We want that shin bone perpendicular to the floor, and we need to turn that right knee out so it points in the same direction as your toes. You don't want the knee behind the ankle here, and you certainly don't want it ahead of the ankle. You need to adjust your feet so the hips and the thighs open. Back arm is level with the shoulders. Make sure your shoulders haven't gone over there somewhere. Draw them back. Okay, then lengthen the back of the neck and gently turn the head to look along the middle finger of your right hand. And then as you breathe in, you're lengthening up through the core of your body. And then as you exhale, you let your body melt into the pose. And if you do your 5-5 breathing, all right, it sends a message to the brain to relax into the pose. So any areas that are holding you back, they'll release. And they're only going to release with your breath. They're not going to release if you force them. If you try and force them, they're going to react and they're going to tighten up. They need to relax. And remember, you can move. Keep breathing. Super strong in the legs, everyone. Strong in the upper back. So we're in our warrior two. Let's drop that back hand, that left hand down. Turn the right palm to face the sky. Keep that right knee deeply bent. Inhale into reverse warrior. So we get a good old stretch on the right side of the waist. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn the right palm up. Bring the right forearm to touch the right thigh. Now it's just touching. You're not resting. It's touching. Draw that left shoulder back. We want a diagonal straight line from the leg up through the ribs. And then we draw that left arm by the side of the ear, shoulder away from the ear, and open the heart. We can come down lower if we can keep the diagonal straight line. Now, this is really strong pose. So see how your breathing is now. And you have to get control of that 5-5 breath. Inhaling and exhaling. And then we're going to inhale, come back up, hands back to the hips, feet back to parallel. Well done. Okay, let's do the other side. So let's start with the foundations, feet. Right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Once the foundations are good, move up to your knees, hips, spine, shoulders, neck. All good. Inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. They've got to check everything again. You've moved. Feet, knees. Pay particular attention to that one, that left one. All right, get the shoulders in position. Back arm level. Gently look along the middle finger of your left hand. Relax your breathing. See if you can melt into it as you exhale. As you breathe in, feel the power, the energy coming up through your core. As you exhale, it's almost like you sigh as you exhale into the posture. So the posture develops as you breathe. It evolves. And it only changes with your breathing. Let's drop that back hand, that right hand down, left palm up. Inhale, reverse. Get a good stretch down the left side of your waist. And then as we exhale, turn the left palm up, forearm touches the thigh. So you're not resting down, your obliques here are holding you in position. If those oblique muscles weren't working, you'd be like this. All right, you've got to get the energy, the lines of force running through the body. Okay, start to lengthen. Keep the outside edge of that back foot down. Sweep that right arm round. Pull the shoulder away from the ear. Turn the palm to face the floor. And then you can turn the gaze up if it's comfortable. You want a feeling of the hips opening and then the heart opening and then this diagonal straight line. So we get a stretch down the whole of the right side of the body. This left arm can straighten to open that hip. You can wedge it. You can leave that hip open a little bit more. And we could come all the way down if you can manage that nice straight line. but most people will probably be there. If this shoulder starts to ache, just put your hand on your hip. Remember, yoga is supposed to be nice. It's not punishing. Have a rest if you need to. And then from there, we're going to inhale, come back up. And we'll exhale, bring the hands back to the hips. Okay, let's come into a forward fold. Remember, when you fold forwards, it's okay to bend the knees. It's okay to bend the knees, all right? So let's inhale, take the arms out. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, elongate your spine, always. As you exhale, bend the knees anyway, and then tilt. Right, so get into a flat back position first. Feel free to wiggle. All right? Lengthen the spine as you breathe in. Have a little rock forwards and back over the soles of your feet so that we're not sinking all our weight into our heels. And then as we breathe in, we push away from the ground. We send the sitting bones up to the sky. We keep the spine long for as long as possible. And then as we exhale, we can start to walk the hands through the legs, elbows soft, and then the crown of the head comes down towards the floor. If you wanted to, you could grab hold of your ankles or hook your big toes. If you're not comfortable all the way down there, you could just kind of pause here or rest your forearms on your thighs. So wherever you feel happy, all right, find your happy place, everybody, and then take a nice breath in for 5. And a nice relaxed exhale for 5. As you exhale, almost sigh as you exhale. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then we're going to inhale, come halfway up. Everyone bend your knees. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up. And then we'll exhale and come back to the front of the mat. Okay, let's try a little balance, everybody. So, root through the 4 corners of your feet. Engage the lower locks. Pelvic floor lifts. In yoga, that's called Mula Bandha. Navel draws to spine. In yoga, that's called Uddiyana Bandha. Hands on your hips. Come on to tiptoes of your left foot. Keep your gaze, your drishti in yoga, your gaze steady, still and relaxed. See if you can pick up your left knee and stand nice and tall. If you have a bit of a wobble, just put the big toe to the floor. You've got your wardrobe there. You can put your hand on your wardrobe and lift up. Nothing wrong with a little bit of help, okay? So if you need a little bit of help, that's fine. If you're in the mood, you could try grabbing your big toe and stand tall. We have to get this rooting through the foot to get the lift up. Opposite forces. If you're comfortable, we can try straightening the leg. All right, you might find your knees bent. If you've got tight hamstrings, your leg isn't going to straighten. Make sure you're not leaning back, okay? So go wherever you're comfortable. You can hold it there. And then relax into your breath. 5 counts as you inhale. And 5 counts as you exhale. 5 counts as you inhale. And 5 counts as you exhale. And then we'll release. Good, let's try the other side. So come on to tiptoes. Find your balance. When you're ready, pick up. Stand tall. So make sure you root and you rise. See if you can grow another centimetre. If you have a bit of a wobble, you just start again. And sometimes you have to start again many times. Do not have an internal dialogue of telling yourself off if you keep falling over. Be kind to yourself. It's okay. It doesn't matter. Knee comes up. You could try grabbing the big toe. Then you need to stand tall again. And it's a strong posture to take that leg out. You've got to push the feet away from the center of the body. Bring it back down if you're not comfortable with it. 5 breathing. Keep the gaze still. One more breath. Good, and relax. Okay, let's inhale. Raise your arms, everyone. Let's exhale and fold. Let's inhale, come halfway up. Let's exhale to chaturanga, which is our press up. Inhale to cobra. Pull up through the navel, exhale into down dog. Breathe in down dog. And then from our downward facing dog, we'll come into sitting. Good. Okay, well done. So we always finish off with an inversion. And inversions are things like, down dog's an inversion. Anything where your head is below your heart. So we're thinking the most common one is the shoulder stand. All right, headstand, handstand, they're all inversions. So we're going to look at the shoulder stand, but I'm going to give you an alternative as well. So if you want to do a nice gentle inversion, right, if you've got a chair, okay, or your bed, or a wardrobe or a bit of wall space, the easy inversion is to go sideways into whatever you're going to use. Swivel yourself around and your legs come up and your arms go out and you chill. Okay, so that's one version of an inversion where the legs are up in the air. Okay, the other option is to go into the full shoulder stand. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you. If you know what to do, you carry on. You've got to take care of your neck whenever you lie on your back, everyone. You need to roll your shoulders away from your ears. The back of your neck needs to be long. And then you can bring the knees in over your chest. Now, make sure when you go into a shoulder stand, so watch this before you do it, because you must never turn your head to the side once you're in it. You're going to hurt your neck, okay? You must keep the neck neutral once you're in it. So watch me come out of it as well as go in if you've not done one before. So you come up onto your shoulders. You've got to wiggle your elbows in. All right, so get your elbows close to one another, and then hands to your lower back, and then your legs come up. Now, when people first practice, it looks a bit more like that, bit of weight going into the hands, and that's okay. Gradually over time, you want to try and lift up, all right? To come out, it's really important that you take care when you come out, otherwise you give yourself whiplash, right? You need to bring the knees to the forehead, the hands to the floor. Now, when you come out, everyone, use your abdominal muscles to slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Now, once the tailbone gets to the floor, and only when the tailbone's got to the floor, then release your legs. Otherwise, your legs will come slapping down and your head will jerk up. Okay, so be careful with that. Other options are to put your hands here and just have your knees in. Or take the legs up there. Okay, so whatever you choose to do, you carry on. I'm just going to come and sit up. And we'll do 5-5 breathing for 5 breaths, whatever you're choosing to do. If you're familiar with yoga, if you've been doing it a long time, you know that you can go into the plow, you know the options. Always write me a little message if you're not sure. Okay? If there's anything you want to ask, just send me a message. And then keep relaxing into your breathing. So inhaling and exhaling. 3 more breaths. Okay, so try and slowly and gently come out of that shoulder stand. So bring the knees to your chest and then bring the hands to the floor. Stay curled up in a ball and then try and use your abdominal muscles to roll down one vertebra at a time. And then have a little bit of a stretch out. And we're going to finish off, we're going to come into Shavasana, relaxation pose. So when we come into Shavasana, we want the Spine and the neck long, the shoulders rolling away from the ears. We take the feet a little wider than the hips and the arms away from the upper body, palms facing up. So you want to spread yourselves out. Spread yourselves out. And then just let everything relax. So if you get yourself into Shavasana, make sure you're warm. You can put a blanket over you. You can put a pillow underneath your head if you like. I'm going to come and sit up and talk you through the relaxation. So you get yourselves comfy, get yourselves warm, use any cushions or anything. And then spread out. Take a nice breath in. And a long exhale. So now we're going to lengthen the exhale. All the way through the class we've been balancing the breath. But now we're trying to move into a relaxation. We want to lengthen that part of the breath, the exhale, where we release, relax, and let go. So lengthening into that exhale, let the feet flop out to the sides as you relax into your ankles. Relax into your calves and your shins. Fronts and the backs of your knees, your thighs, hips. Become aware of the weight of your legs. Soften your belly, and as you breathe into your diaphragm, let the belly rise. And as you relax into the exhale, feel as if your lower back is dropping into the space below. Relax around your rib cage, across your chest and your shoulder blades. Tops of your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists and hands. Soften your throat, the neck, the hinges of your jaw, the root of your tongue. So your tongue feels like it's floating inside your mouth. Relax your cheeks. Corners of your eyes, skin across your forehead, your scalp. So as you breathe in, you feel an expansion, and then as you exhale, almost sighing as you exhale, your whole body feels like it's spreading and sinking down into the earth. Your physical body is relaxed. Now your physical body can be relaxed, but your mind can be very active. And in amongst all the turmoil around us, we can always come home to our breathing, consciously relaxing our breathing, which sends a message to our brain that all is well, soothes our nervous system, lowers our stress, and increases our energy. So keep your attention now, if you can, on the gentle rise and fall of your belly. Let any other thoughts come and go. For the next few breaths, let go of all that busyness and come home to your breathing for a short period of time. Give your mind a rest, give your brain a rest. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a stretch out over the head. So take a deep breath in, stretch your arms over your head, point your toes away. And then slide your feet up, bring the knees in over your chest and do a few circles or a few rocks side to side. And then we're going to roll over onto the right hand side and come up and sitting. The hands to the heart. Shanti. Well done, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Same time next week. See you later.